Imagine this. You're taking a nice walk through a city. Looking down, you see that the streets that were once clear are now scattered with pieces of litter. And when you look up, you no longer gaze at the clear blue sky, but at a murky grey one instead, caused by pollution. Well, this is actually starting to happen, and we do need to remember that we only have one Earth. Plastic pollution is one of the main issues, but first, let's get real. Not all types of plastic is bad. There are things like car airbags, bike helmets, and lots of medicine supplies that are made out of plastic, and they save people's lives. The problem is that these things are thrown away after being used, and not into bins, but just onto the ground. There is no such thing as a way when you throw something away. It must go somewhere. That is a quote by Annie Leonard. So how does all this rubbish end up in the sea? Well, after it is thrown away, it is blown into things like rivers and creeks, and from there, it makes its way to the ocean. But it doesn't decompose. Instead, it stays in the ocean forever. Now imagine this. A harmless turtle is happily swimming in the sea, thinking that it is just a normal day, searching for food. In the distance, it sees a white blob, and thinking that it is a jellyfish, swims forward and eats what it thought was a jellyfish, but is actually a plastic bag. Now this poor turtle has a plastic bag inside it. This turtle isn't the only one. Over 700 different species of marine animals are getting harmed. For those of you here who love marine animals, what are you planning to do about it? Be a part of the solution, not the pollution. That is a slogan on air pollution. Air pollution is caused by solid and liquid particles and some gases that go into the air. These things come from car exhaust, truck exhaust, and factories, just to name a few. Long-term exposure gives you heart diseases, lung diseases, respiratory infections, and can also affect people's brain, nerves, kidney, or liver. Around 90% of the world's population live in areas with high levels of air pollution, and every year, more than 5 million people die of the diseases that it gives. I know it sounds harsh, but that's the reality of it. Picture this. You're taking a nice walk through a beautiful forest, breathing in the clean, fresh air and hearing the sweet melody of birds chirping as you gaze at all the trees, plants, and flowers. Well, don't get too used to this, because every day, more of it is being torn down, leaving no room for the birds and animals. This is called deforestation. This is terrible because forests exhibit high biodiversity and give homes to many endangered species that wouldn't be able to find a home anywhere else. Over half of the world's forests are already wiped out, and that means that we will have none left by the end of the century. When you see wood and paper, what do you think of? Do you think of the trees that are being chopped down? In the words of Martin O'Malley, reversing deforestation is complicated, but planting a tree is simple. Luckily, not all is lost yet. More individuals and corporations are starting to take action. Beach cleanups are taking place so that beaches won't be caked with rubbish. Have you noticed that more cycle lanes and bus lanes are being built? Well, that's happening too. Using your hobbies works as well. Inspirational art and music about the environment helps people to understand what is happening and lets them know how they can help. Every action counts, so just think, what could you do? Well, I know that I'm going to try and pick up litter more and encourage others to do so. Everyone knows about what is happening to the planet, so why aren't we doing anything? Well, probably because everyone is too busy and will only realise once it is too late. The climate crisis has already been solved. We already have all the facts and solutions. All we need to do is wake up and change. That is a quote by Greta Thunberg. So now remember, a better world starts with you.